What if I told you that saving just 1,000 Kenya shillings a week could grow into over 1 million shillings without you working any extra hours? Sounds like magic? A scam? A lottery win? Nope. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's better. It's the most powerful force in finance, and it's completely accessible to you right now. That's the power of compound interest, and today on Money Moves, we are breaking it down for you. You see, most people focus only on how much they earn at their job. They try to work harder, clock in more hours, or chase the next promotion. And that's fine. But it's the slow way to financial freedom. The fastest way to grow your wealth is to make your money work harder than you do.
Also, today on Mint, home insurance, safeguarding your haven and investments. Say cheese, being smart about the cost of a smile. How pitmasters are revolutionizing Nyama Choma.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest. Earn it, spend it, save, invest. Mola, kila siku niko chesa mola, make more bila stress. Mola, kila siku wesa mola, make more bila stress.
This week on Money Moves, we explore the concept of compound interest. Is it a key to building long-term wealth? A financial force that, when used wisely, can help grow substantial wealth over time?
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
Today on Money Moves, we are answering a powerful question. How can just 1,000 shillings a week grow into 1 million? It sounds impossible, right? However, the secret lies in one of the most powerful forces in finance: compound interest. Compound interest is when the money you save doesn't just earn interest on the original amount, but also earns interest on the interest you've already made. It is like planting a tree which matures, bears fruit, and produces seeds. Each of these seeds grows into another tree, and soon you have a forest. Let's break it down with our 1,000 shillings a week example. That's about 4,000 shillings a month. Now, imagine putting this amount into an investment that earns an average of 10% per year. A realistic return if you invest your money in a mix of long-term stocks, unit trusts, or retirement funds. In the first year, you've saved about 48,000 shillings. With a 10% interest rate, this will grow to just over 52,000 shillings. Not too exciting yet, right? But here's the magic. Every year, your savings plus the interest you've earned start earning more interest. After 10 years, that 1,000 shillings a week could have grown to over 800,000 shillings. After 15 years, it could have increased to over 1.3 million shillings. And if you keep going, the numbers continue to compound upward. That's how 1,000 shillings a week quietly builds wealth over time. Let's say you started saving when your child was 1 year old. If you simply saved the cash under your mattress, after 15 years, you'd only have 720,000 shillings. However, with compound interest, that same money could have doubled and might cover much of their secondary school education. This is why Albert Einstein is often quoted as saying, "Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, he who doesn't pays it." So here's the big takeaway. You don't need a lump sum to become a millionaire. What you need is consistency, time, and the power of compound interest. Start today. Whether it's 1,000 shillings, 500, or even less, make it a habit, because in the world of money, the earlier you start, the richer the forest you'll grow. That's your money move for this week. Stay smart, stay consistent, and let your money work for you.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
For most families, a home is more than just bricks and mortar. It's where memories are made and possessions are kept. Yet many only think about protecting it after a disaster strikes. A home insurance policy, often called a domestic package, is designed to shield homeowners and tenants from unexpected events such as floods, fires, theft, and damage. Today we explore what a domestic package covers, why it's crucial, and why uptake in Kenya remains low despite growing risks and a booming housing market.
For most families, a home is their biggest investment. Not just a building, but the memories and possessions inside. Yet, many only think about safeguarding it after something goes wrong. A home insurance policy, often called a domestic package, is designed to cushion homeowners and tenants from life's unexpected turns. So how does it actually work?
It's an insurance that people take to protect their homes and what they own in those homes.
The truth is that life is unpredictable. Disruptions can strike without warning, leaving people financially exposed.
Why is it important? Because of many eventualities, people do not anticipate that they are going to happen. Nobody knows when an accident is going to happen. Nobody knows where thugs will come and vandalize your home. Nobody knows that you live with your laptop and you may not come back with it back to the house. In Kenya, we never anticipated to have floods, especially in Nairobi, and people lost a lot of property in terms of even the context of the house.
In Kenya, insurance penetration remains at just 2.4% of GDP, well below the global average of 7%. Yet in 2024, premiums across the industry hit 395 billion Kenya shillings, showing both the size of the industry and the untapped potential, particularly in home insurance.
We are seeing people now embracing having a home insurance, something that you couldn't really talk to people about. They didn't see the need. But with the kind of natural calamities we are currently experiencing in the country, I think people are seeing the value of having a home insurance.
With more extreme weather events and a housing sector that continues to grow, the domestic package market has strong room for expansion. Industry watchers say even a 5 to 10% rise in uptake would add billions to the insurance sector.
We have very few Kenyans buying home insurance. And one assumption I think most of the homeowners make is that accidents do not happen to our homes. I'll say it's the ignorance of the importance of a home insurance.
For cover to be effective, honesty is the foundation. Every detail shared must reflect the actual situation on the ground.
There's something called utmost good faith in insurance, where we want to believe the client is given the true information about his home.
So what does this protection actually extend to? It is broader than most realize.
Home insurance has 5 components. So number 1 is where you insure the building. Number 2 is where you insure the contents, what you do not move out with. And then number 3 is something we call all risk, that covers portable things that you move around with, the phones, the laptops, the cameras. And then we have the WIBA, and then we have owners and personal liabilities, and occupiers and personal liability.
Securing coverage begins with documenting the property and everything inside it.
Under the coverage of the building, we'll need the value of the house or the building and any structures within the compound. And then you'll be required to give us the location of where that building is. Under the contents, the client will be required to list for us everything in that house. That includes the furniture, the beds, the clothing, the jewelry, the electronics, the cutlery in the kitchen.
Naturally, cost varies from household to household, depending on what one chooses to include.
And it's up to an individual to choose how many components of the home insurance do you want to include in your cover. That will determine how much premiums you pay. So for someone living in an apartment, it's not like somebody who is living in their standalone house. We can do something we call insurance premium financing, where we have the bank paying the premiums on your behalf, and then you as a client, you can either do a standing order or direct debit, or even give post-dated checks to the bank, and then you'll be paid maybe in 3 or 4, 5 or 6 equal installments, depending with the arrangements that the insurance companies have with the bank, with the different banks.
Policies aren't static. They can and should evolve as the value of your home and belongings changes.
If you've actually added a few items and you'd want to insure them, upon renewal of the policy, it's good to indicate that during the renewal.
And when disaster does strike, the process to restore losses is straightforward.
It depends the extent of the damage and how soon even you as a customer provide us with the necessary information that we need, and then it requires us to send the assessors to come to your home and assess the damage. and they give a report.
Home insurance is not a luxury. It's a financial seatbelt. Insuring your space today could be the difference between starting over or simply carrying on after the storm.
Home insurance is as important as a medical insurance. Home insurance gives you protection that in the event an incident was to happen in your house, you're well protected. We take insurance to transfer that risk to an insurance company for a small fee. If you own a home, I would say it's almost mandatory to have a home insurance. If you do not own a home, it is very important to have insurance for the content you have in your house.
Your home is probably your most valuable asset, and a domestic package helps protect you and that investment in several ways. While it won't prevent damage to your home or belongings, it may provide a financial safety net if the unexpected occurs. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Coming up, say cheese, the cost of a smile.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest. Moolah, kila siku waste that moolah, make more bila stress.
Welcome back to Mint, where we explore the world of personal finance, simplifying it and making it relatable for you. Whether you're looking to earn, spend, save or invest, we've got you covered.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
All over the world, a smile is the universal language for happiness. But for millions of Kenyans, their smile can cost a fortune. Dental treatment is expensive in Kenya and can range from 2,000 to 100,000 Kenya shillings for a routine dental procedure. Many people fear the cost of these services, but there are ways to go around this. This week on Inside Hustle, we speak to Dr. Chegembiu, a dentist and health economist, to examine some procedures and the factors that contribute to the high cost of dental health care.
Dental healthcare is one of the most expensive medical procedures globally. In Kenya, dental care costs mainly depend on whether you're visiting a public or private dentist and your mode of payment.
Dental treatment is relatively expensive considering our setup, being a third world country. The payment is two modes. Either they pay by cash or they pay through an insurer. So when it comes to an insurer, they pay for services that restore the main functions, which is eating, right? They pay for a disease process, majorly cavities or gum issue, right? Or surgeries. But when it comes to services that are to improve your smile, what you call cosmetic, insurances pull off, right? Or pull out from those services. So insurance would pay for an extraction, it would pay for a filling, it would pay for a root canal treatment, right? It would pay for the surgical removal of wisdom teeth, but it will not pay for bleaching, it will not pay for crowns and veneers to whiten, and it will not pay for braces, unless it's a very high level insurances, which we find with international companies.
Kenya is witnessing a growth in cosmetic dentistry. Boosted by higher disposable income, patients' demands have developed beyond simple mouth hygiene to elaborate beauty enhancement. One of the big current trends is the removal of stains. Stains, which are categorized under cosmetic dentistry, are of two types, internal and external. Removal of external stains at hospitals such as Mama Lucy Kibaki and Thika Level 5 or at any mid-level mission hospital like Sekijabe will cost between 3,000 and 5,000 shillings. Fixing internal stains might require bleaching, and this costs a pretty penny.
Bleaching is costly, all right? You will not get it in a public hospital. You may not even get it in a mission hospital. So mostly private providers are the ones who give bleaching. It is about 20,000, all right? 20 to 30, but give an average of 20, 25,000.
For moderate to severe stains, the teeth need to be covered by veneers. These are categorized into two: direct, which are applied directly to your teeth, and indirect veneers, which are fabricated outside the mouth by a lab technologist and then applied by the dentist to the teeth.
The direct veneers that we do on the chair, we generally call that procedure masking. It is a coat, all right? It is a special form of polycarbon that you prepare the tooth, you coat the tooth, all right? Then you dry it with UV light, all right, on the chair. It can range between, again, 2,000 in a public hospital, 3,000 probably in a mission hospital to 3,500, and 4,000 all the way to around 8,000 in a private clinic. Indirect veneer are made of porcelain, and now we have come up with special materials called zirconia, because you'll find a veneer probably 25,000 to 30,000 per tooth. So that gets away from an average Kenyan.
Cost of implants is beyond the reach of an average Kenyan. Single implants cost between 90,000 and 150,000 shillings. As an alternative, one could opt for dentures or bridges, which are relatively affordable, as replacing a single tooth with a denture costs only about 2,000 shillings.
I have a responsibility to tell people that you can get dentures from a public hospital. A single tooth is probably 2,000 shillings. 3 teeth, 3,000, 3,500. If it is complete denture, meaning you don't have a single tooth, you can pay as much as 80,000 in a private hospital. But if you walk to Kenyatta Hospital or University of Nairobi Dental Hospital or Thika Level 5 or Nyeri or Kiambu, you'll have that denture at 6,000.
Dental healthcare in Kenya remains relatively costly due to advancements in technology and expensive dental machines used. However, compared to other countries, the dentistry cost in Kenya is lower, and this has resulted in growth of dental tourism.
It is easier to do your dental treatment here than do it there. There, in some countries, especially the US, it is ridiculously expensive. So in terms of technology, the world has become a global village, and we are finding ourselves, it may not be distributed in all clinics, but there is no technology in dentistry that is in any country that is not here.
Despite the advancement in technology and the reducing cost of dental procedures, it is advisable to be keen on individual oral care, plus to ensure that you visit a dentist regularly.
Most important is brushing 2 times every day without fail, and avoiding detrimental habits like smoking, right? Taking a lot of black tea every day, black coffee every day, right? Other things that can stain, like turmeric, a lot of spicy food, often can stain them. Lipstick, once in a while is fine. But if being overzealous, that again stains the direct veneer.
Earn it, spend it, save, invest.
Nyama choma has long been part of Kenya's identity. In the wider Nairobi area, nyama choma joints in places like Kamaki's and Ruiru Bypass are where friends and family gather to celebrate, and the city's love for meat truly comes alive. Travelers on the Nairobi-Nakuru highway have always stopped at Kikopey to enjoy some nyama choma before continuing on to their destinations. In recent years, a new trend has emerged: barbecuing. This is more than just roasting meat. It's a mix of patience, smoke, and flavor. At the center of this movement is Willy D, a grill master whose journey did not begin with instant success. Gradually, he has refined his craft, experimented, and mastered the balance between fire and flavor. What started as a hobby has transformed into an art form and a business. Here's his story.
Meet Willy D, a self-taught pitmaster whose journey as a curious cook to a respectable pitmaster is as flavorful as the meat he serves. Every mastery, however, has a messy beginning. For Willy D, it wasn't a secret recipe or a secret sauce that started it all.
I live near Udhiru, so there's a lot of pork joints around there. You'd want pork, and you go to some pork joint there and they say pork choma. So I went like a couple of times. I'm like, this experience is not gelling, it's not vibing, it's not bringing. Until I find out pork choma is actually deep fried pork. I decided to experiment on my own. So I built a small grill. It was drum. So I took the drum and I cut it in half so it opened, put a chain and everything, put a rack. Then there's a place where you put your charcoal. Like about an hour and a half later, going to 2 hours later, I come and open like, now let me check. The chops had come out. I mean, you'd press them like this. They were like cardboard, literally. So I was like, okay, what have I not understood here in all this?
He could have stopped there, let the grill go cold, but something about the fire called him back. Trial after trial, mistake after mistake, and one day he got it right. From 2017 to 2020, he tested, experimented, and refined. Finally, the tables turned.
So for a while, up till 2020, this was all a passion. I mean, amongst a few of my friends and like my cousin and stuff, they'd be like, you do something over the weekend, we come.
Yeah.
So then Corona came. People didn't have anywhere to go. So first of all, I had space. So my friends were like, we come over in the afternoon and we can sit outside there and just have a drink. So cool. Then I'm like, oh yeah, I did some nyama over here. Let's have some. So they eat, they're like, oh man, this is really nice. I'm like, this is just something I've been doing, you know, like a backyard cook. So I really didn't think it was all that initial. So it became, let's changa. And then we send for Willy, he can buy meat and then do for us something. So when I had started to post some things on Facebook, a few of them, so they're like, how can you do that? Nyama looks so nice. No, you have to do something for us. So from there, one of them gave me my first quote unquote commercial work. So I did, my first big one was for like 40 packs, which was huge at that time. I was like, oh my God, now they don't have plates and I'm going to do this and that. And that should have been 2021. So I do for Audi Club, they were having some meeting. So I do that meet for them and that made me, oh, I can actually do this. So a lot of confidence born out of this passion.
What started off as a need for quality choma became a hobby and grew into something bigger, a mastery. In the barbecue world, not all masters have the same title.
Grill pit doesn't really matter. It's just a source for heat. The name pit itself has a history because a lot of times they used to cook in a lower than a below ground place. So it was a bit of a pit and the fire would be there and blah, blah, blah. For lack of a better way to put it, pitmaster and grill master is more or less the same thing. For pit itself, it's more or less the same thing. You're controlling your place where you're cooking. So because I don't have a hole now, this is not a pit. Rogon is a smoker. So again, how do you refer to it? For me, it's just a term.
Like any artist, he has his instruments. Balerion, the slow cooking beast. Dragon, the fire breather. The open fire grill, where tradition meets flavor.
Valerian is the better known of my smokers. Valerian is named after the first mythical dragon to have been ridden by human beings, the Game of Thrones pantheon. Otherwise known Valerian the Black Dread. So initially I painted it black and everything. Man, this has given me a lot of good days.
Passion alone does not keep the fire burning. For many young people, the question is simple. Can pit mastery pay the bills?
Yes, it can pay the bills. Give you satisfaction, yes. Make you a millionaire, I don't think so. But it'll give you satisfaction. I mean, there's nothing as good as having people eating your food and they are really happy about it. And like as I said, after the meetup fest, when I see all these videos coming out, it's a total joy.
Start with what you have. It's a valuable lesson in business that Willy D's story highlights well. Instead of waiting to afford expensive smokers and grills, he improvised with a drum from his farming days, experimented and refined his flavors. And look at him now, creating unforgettable meat experiences. This wraps up today's episode of Mint, Money Made Simple, your essential guide to personal finance designed to help you make your money work smarter for you. For more information, visit Mint at mula.co.ke or tv47.digital. Stay safe and keep minting. Until next week, I'm Lydia Nyawera.